I know it seems like a lot is changing, but again, don't panic. I talked to you about USA spending this week. I want to use Sam.gov to help you realize it has also changed. So I want you to continue to use both tools to win. Sometimes things are designed to distract you. Stay focused, stay diligent, and I'm going to show you how to use Sam.gov to continue to win government contracts. But you also need to use USA spending to understand the markets where you're winning contracts or where you'd like to win contracts. So let me just show you what's changed. Let's get into it. I will give you a complete demonstration of how SAM.gov is working now.
Hey, you guys, I know government contracting can be a little bit challenging sometimes, but don't forget you have Ask Michelle B. Just click on the link below in the comment section and ask me anything you want to know about business and government contracting, and I will send you a personal email, but I'll also let our audience know because I'm positive there are many out there that have the same types of questions.
So the first thing you want to do is go to SAM.gov, click on contracting. Then you will click on advanced search and you will see that it looks very different. Do you see this? Nothing comes up. Don't let that intimidate you. And don't go and just click on all of these opportunities and they're all over the place. You can select a category, but you first need to choose the right areas before you select the category. Do not get distracted by this. I was a little disgusted when I saw this, but I realized, Michelle, you have to revisit sam.gov with your community and help them to understand how they can still find great contracts. In fact, in some cases, you will find more. But this is a distraction, is to keep you from looking at all of the opportunities and winning these contracts. So you need to think the opposite. What you need to do is take the steps I showed you, and then the first thing you want to do is look at notice type. Click on notice type, choose your categories because you don't want all the junk to become involved. You want to choose the notice types, which would be sources sought, pre-solicitation, combined bundle if you want. That's not a bad thing. Go ahead and click on it if you would like to, and also solicitation. Okay, now what it will do is provide you with all of the current opportunities at the beginning. Now, we did not narrow it down using PSCs and product service codes and NAIC codes. That's where the problem is. If you don't know your NAIC codes, you're in trouble. If you don't know your PSC codes specifically, you're in trouble. I love PSC codes and keywords. Keywords work sometimes, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. What you need to do is if you are just getting started or you cannot find what you're looking for, I created a massive list with all of the PSC codes because PSC codes are how you're going to find the right contracts, services, and products. So here's what we need to do next. After we choose all of the important contract opportunities or the sources sought or get ready for the pre-solicitations or even the bundled contracts, what we need to do is choose the categories that we would like to look at for our contracts. Never run reports for NAICS codes and PSC codes at the same time. You've probably heard me say this before, but they cross and cancel each other out. You need to look at each of them differently. Now, if you know your NAICS codes, then you're fine. If you know your PSC codes, you're fine. But the change that has been put into the system requires you to know what your NAICS codes and PSC codes are. Again, if you don't know what they are, you need to click on the link in the comment section and get a list of my 6,000 PSC codes so you can find any category that you would like to find. I will present to you a demonstration of the Excel spreadsheet that you can get, and you can use that to find any industry contracts in federal government that you would like. In fact, it may even be easier for you. But right now, I will use a code that I know about. So when we looked at USA spending, we looked at some of the agencies like Health and Human Services. But what if I did not know exactly what I wanted to focus on? There are a couple of things I could do. Let's say I am in healthcare and I just want to see what's out there. What I would do is look on the PSC list and choose healthcare codes. So one of the codes that we saw under USA spending for healthcare, specifically Health and Human Services, was Q201. So I would put in here Q201, or I could just put in Q. Now I could put in Q201 to see all of the managed care opportunities under Health and Human Services and perhaps under some of the other agencies, but I'm going to do one better. I'm going to take out the Q201 because I want to see all of the healthcare opportunities and medical services. And what I do is put in only the Q so that I can see all of the Q opportunities. Now, before I do that, I want us to take a look at what's up here. So I put in Q201 originally. Let me put in just the Q under medical services and see what happens. Take out the Q201 so that I can see all of the current medical services opportunities. And here it is right here. Okay, perfect. So I went from 30, 36 opportunities to 198. And each of these opportunities will be under sources sought, pre-solicitation, consolidate, substantially bundle, meaning they could be asking for or requesting services together. Okay, so you could get opportunities that maybe they need a product and they need a service, or they need two services. These are excellent opportunities from my perspective when it comes to health and human services. And if you are in healthcare or medical, you can go in any direction with these codes. Now, are there more medical codes? Yes, you could possibly use some keywords and see if you can find some other medical codes in a different situation. But if I were to just take the top level code, Q, I would click on all medical services and look what's under here. All of these different types of medical services will come up under different agencies. So this is how I would quickly figure out, if I were new, how to find my codes. Now, I would also figure out what goes in my SAM, because I could review all of these opportunities and find out which code they fall under. Does it fall under Q201? Does it fall under Q522? Does it fall under does it fall under, let's see, Q517? This is what you would put in your SAM. It only takes you maybe a day or so to handle your due diligence and make your SAM profile look exactly like the contract officers that you would like to attract. That's very important, because not only do you want to look for them, you want them looking for you. But if you don't have their codes and they don't have your codes, you're not going to find each other to go on a date. Okay, so let's look at some other situations with opportunities. You could also click on one of these opportunities and you could determine what your NAIC code is. So the PSC code will be inside here. It's one of the Qs. Let's click on it. So this is a virtual pharmacy service. Here is the PSC code. This is actually a small business set aside, which is great. Pharmacies are considered small businesses, but you don't have to be a pharmacy to do this. You could be the prime and you could find a pharmacy that you would like to work with. So Here is the Q517. That would go in your SAM if this is the type of opportunity that you want to work with. And this is your NAICS code, 621399. And remember what I said, you always look for opportunities separately under your Q517 code and then separately under your 621399 code. This is how you need to do it. Now, if you're not sure, again, if you're not sure about your codes, you need to either use the list that I have in the comment section, go and get your list, download your list, or you can do some searches based on what you already know. But you don't want to spend a lot of time looking through these areas and you go down a rabbit hole. That will take you so much time. You don't want to do that. You need to find the right codes, put them on your sheet, set up your SAM properly so that you can win from both sides by you locating the contracting officers under these Q codes and the contracting officers locating you when they're doing market research, looking for you to work with you on a federal contract. Okay? So it's that simple. You need to make sure that you put in all of the notice types so that you don't get all the junk. And then you come down here and you choose your codes. Okay? Now let's do the same thing with 1510. Well, 1510 is part of the USA spending video that I did. I promised you that I would come over and show you some opportunities under 1510. It was one of the most sought after PSC codes under DOD and under some of the other agencies on USA spending. So let's do the same thing with 1510 and see what we get. Well, let's look and see. 1510 is a sensitive one. There are only a few, but it showed us that under 1510, $381 billion was spent. So where are all the opportunities for 1510? This is what we need to do. What we need to do is just put in the 15 and it will pull up all of the additional categories. Rotary wing, gliders, all of the additional categories. So just click on 15 and watch what happens. We get 318 opportunities. This is how you use USA spending. They can't fool us. We're really good at what we do.